Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, welcome back to yet another episode with iTrack. Big shout out to all the iTrack fan, man, tapping in like you always do. And today we're going to get straight into the sponsor of today's video, which is Raycon earbuds. Raycon's everyday earbuds are your quietening sidekick for the gym, for work, phone calls, and in my case, watching podcasts, offering premium audio that goes everywhere that you go. Their latest model is better than ever with over 32 hours of battery life and multiple points of connectivity. That means you can connect two devices to these earbuds at once. It also offers a quick charge function, which means 10 minutes of charging this will give you 90 minutes of battery life, which is pretty wild. Now, when I'm watching a funny podcast, the last thing I want to do is be bothered by outside noise or background noise. These offer the noise cancellation that I need. And this is the proper way to wear these earbuds. Go to buyraycon.com/iTrack to get 20% off the best-selling everyday earbuds, brought to you by Raycon. Alright, so let's just jump right into it.
World's first automatic tattooing device paired with an online marketplace for high-end tattoo art. Licensed designs are uploaded into our platform, and the Black Dot device tattoos at a level of precision that hasn't existed until now. We use fantastically small black dots, roughly the size of a human hair, as the pixel to create our tattoos. With Black Dot, we've created something that's scalable. So Sharks, it's time to roll up your sleeves. What I've done here is this is fake skin, synthetic skin, and these are tattoos by the Black Dot device.
Okay.
I just figured this
so
was...
it's down to a very fine level. Like when you look at this here, it's extremely fine.
Do tattoo artists hate you?
Some do.
Well, yeah, because you take their jobs,
Well, that's not
essentially.
necessarily the case. Here's how it works. First of all, when we license designs, we license them from tattoo artists as well as visual artists.
It's
And every time,
scalable for the tattoo artist.
Every time a licensed tattoo is executed, that artist gets paid. So actually, for tattoo artists, for the first time ever, we're enabling them to scale in an industry with a low ceiling. Right now, they just trade time for money.
Yeah, I'm into the tattoos. I got over $300,000 worth of ink on my body.
Do you really?
Do you really?
I do. Because my tattoo artist is one of the top in the world, Arlo, and he's really expensive.
Is that expensive for a
did
tattoo?
that. So,
Okay,
Damon,
so-
how much would one of your tattoos have cost? Because he has to do it by the hour.
One
Right?
of my tattoos is $70,000.
Okay, so why wouldn't we
7-0?
Yeah.
Talk about disrupting an industry. I mean, if they have it their way, things definitely won't be the same when it comes to tattooing.
More stuff involving archaeology and lack of excavations. So we do have a site called Gunung Padang in Indonesia. And let me just say this. All they got to do is drill a hole and stick a camera through it into the tube to figure out if it's a lava tube or something man-made. And if it is a 27,000-year-old pyramidal structure, as Graham Hancock has proposed, it could potentially be the oldest ancient ruin on Earth. And we're never going to know the answer until we go looking.
Yep.
One of the crazier things that they've monitored is something moving underwater that's huge, like size of a couple of football fields, at 500 knots.
So this is exactly my problem. Is there's two realms. There's a realm in which I understand the physics of the universe enough that I can evaluate that claim, and then I can say, well, it's not obvious to me how you go through the water. The water has to be displaced, and water is denser than air in terms of how much matter there is, how many particles there are, and therefore it ought to be harder to move through than air. I would expect noise in the air. I would expect something similar in the water. And the fact that these things behave in a couple of different ways. One, they're silent. Two, they turn in ways that would challenge a biological critter profoundly. Three, they move at speeds that are improbable in light of what we understand. Now, I'm not saying there can't be lots of stuff we don't understand, but what I'm saying is all of those things have a simplest explanation, which is that craft isn't matter.
Scientists have tried to figure out how to use plastic in unique ways to help reduce global pollution. One team has broken down plastic waste and turned it into a molecule that tastes a little vanilla-ish. How one artist now uses the product to make ice cream.
I just know they use CGI to the fullest on that one. There's no way they're turning plastic into ice cream. It can't convince me. But if you know something I don't, Leave it in detail in the comments, man, so I understand what's going on.
Why didn't they take any pictures of the stars by themselves? They argue that the exposure was set for the brightness of the moon's surface, which means the aperture was almost all the way closed, and therefore the faint lights in the background didn't show up. They would have had the clearest image ever taken of any stars in the history of mankind. They could have brought a telescope and put it on the moon, right? Because they weren't there, they couldn't do it. They couldn't fake the astrological position of the constellations accurately with the rotation of the moon, with the rotation of the earth, with the rotation of the solar system, with the rotation of the galaxy. They couldn't fake it accurately. And even at their press conference, a reporter asked him, "Did you see any stars?" And Neil Armstrong says, "I don't remember." Really? You don't remember whether you saw stars more vividly than anywhere in the history of the mankind? I don't remember.
Cap, you got to be capping, man.
Okay, so I was just made aware of this 1990s freckle occurrence, I guess. So apparently, people born before the year 2000 have a freckle on their left arm.
It's interesting that the government is releasing, well, they're not releasing them because they're robotic, but they're putting out these robotic ocelots and other animals. This isn't conspiracy. This isn't birds are fake. This is real. Why is the government doing this? To what? Spy on the real animals? That's a robot. Look at the way it walks. It's not an ocelot. It just looks like an ocelot. Doesn't have to eat. Never gets hungry. Never goes to sleep. It's a robot in the wild.
Here goes another one. I just can't believe that. There's no way that could be a robot. I mean, I just can't believe that.
For all the blind NASA followers with their absolute head in the sand who thinks Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams were stuck in space for 9 months, they packed Christmas hats and came back with tans. We threw the video in Hive moderation, which detects if a video is AI generated. And it took about 18 minutes for Hive moderation to figure out that right here, video is likely to be 22% not AI generated, 22% and 0% not AI generated. Overall, this video is likely to contain AI generator or deep fake content. No kidding. Like, imagine seeing this and be like, yeah, let's go. They did it. They're back. Woo! Thank God. We were so scared for these people. Like, you guys are completely lost. You have been deceived your whole entire lives. These are all high-ranking Freemasons deceiving humanity. Space is fake. It's not real. Space might be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Hebrew meaning of NASA is, to lead astray, to delude, to seduce, to beguile, to deceive you. This is exactly what they're hiding from you. They're hiding God's true creation. And you must understand it's much easier to deceive someone than to tell someone they have been deceived. The truth is much more beautiful than you can possibly imagine. You need to wake up from these illusions and break free from the system. If you'd like to learn how, follow me for more. Peace and love.
It took me 30 years to figure out that mathematics is created by consciousness, and therefore I cannot explain consciousness with mathematics. How can you explain consciousness with math when it's consciousness that created math? When can you explain free will with something that doesn't have free will? You see, it's foolish to think that, that you can explain, more with less. But science doesn't want to go there. Why? Scientism doesn't want to go there. Why? Because you lose your power. Because if I know the equations, I know more than you. And that's not acceptable. Their safety is in the prediction of the future. Their sense of power is in prediction of the future. You cannot predict the future because it's based on free will.
And that makes all the sense to me, because your destiny is definitely in your own hands. There's no way to say how something's going to turn out because you don't know what a person might do because of free will.
This is a huge controversy in science at the moment. We know that there was enormous flooding 12,800 years ago, but the question is what caused it? Why did it happen then? And there's a very powerful theory, which is now backed by more than 100 mainstream scientists, that the Earth passed through the debris stream of a disintegrating comet. And that theory is called the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis. And those several bits of that disintegrating comet might have been pretty big, maybe up to 1 kilometer in diameter. And they landed on the North American ice cap, generating huge amounts of heat. Tremendous shock wave hits the ice cap, and it turns that ice into water, and it rushes.
Every day I feel blessed because I see other people that cannot do the things that I'm doing. I feel stronger than I did 10 years ago. I like it because it's compact.
They've been cloning animals for quite a while, and in the hybrid programs that I was associated with, they were cloning not only species like plants and animals, but they were also regenerating tissues of extraterrestrials and growing them and then cloning them. And then they started cloning humans a very long time ago. It's interesting now that in the news, after talking about this a few times, that now they're coming forward. China just has been doing it forever, but in their underground facilities, cloning people and cloning, of course, you heard about, they cloned their first primate. And hey, they can clone a primate. This verifies what I'm talking about. Well, they can definitely clone a human. And they're also growing humans for organs. And there's a big controversy behind this. But clones are everywhere. Human, extraterrestrial, they're wandering all over. Some people will refer to these as doppelgangers because they can grow a human to look like someone and mind program and implant them with circuitry and things like this. And they will really think they had this life and implant them into a business or into whatever organization they want.
Oh my God! Do you see that? It's dead ass aliens right now. No way! I think it's the moon coming out. Nah, that's like a portal. No, Auntie Jenna. Oh wait, hold on. It's a portal. No, that's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my God! You don't see it's like spinning. Yeah. What the heck? Oh! Oh my God! Not like dead ass. What is that? No, it stopped spinning for a minute. Hold up. No, it's still spinning. It's just going a different direction. Oh my God! Wait. It's aliens. Auntie Jenna, there's no such thing. That is an alien. Auntie Jenna, that is a UFO right now. That's a UFO. Oh my God! But it's moving. Exactly.
And that right there lets me know people are already getting desensitized. They'll see them in the sky, and by now it's just a normal occurrence.
What you do frequently becomes your frequency. Every habit, every thought, every repetition, a drum beat in the grand composition of your life. They weave a rhythm, a pattern, a story, an unconscious dance you perform without even knowing it. And like any melody played long enough, it begins to define you. But here's the great paradox. People long for change while clinging to the old melody. They dream of success, yet fear stepping beyond the familiar. And so they remain, trapped in the rhythm they refuse to rewrite. Take, for instance, starting a business. You dream of it, you speak of it, but something holds you back. Insecurity, doubt, the quiet, creeping voice that whispers, what if it fails? But the truth is, there is no you to be good enough. There is only the becoming. They say they want freedom, success, growth. And yet, when the moment to step forward arrives, fear creeps in like a cunning little trickster. Fear of success, fear of failure, the fear of stepping beyond the known and into the great unknown. And so they stay put, paralyzed, convinced that the rhythm they've been playing is the only one that exists. Courage, then, is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move with it. Fear is just another rhythm, but daily courage, daily action, that is what reshapes the tune. That is how you step into the self you already are. So the question is not can you do it? The question is, will you finally let go and allow yourself to become?
You have never seen it under this much detail.
Okay. Tapeworms are parasitic worms that live inside the host's intestines, feeding off of their nutrients. Bears particularly, because they often get infected by eating raw meat or fish that carry tapeworm larvae. Once inside, the larvae grow into adult tapeworms.
Wait for it.
These parasites can infect most mammals, including humans.
Oh no. Andrew. This is a photo of a tapeworm taken under a microscope. Nikon did a contest and this won 4th place. This is the face of a tapeworm.
Oh my gosh.
That can't be real. That is real. That actually won.
That's a demon.
Bro! That's not okay! That's a real face?
Yep.
That was good.
I hated every part of that.
Just like there's some raw food.
You know the
That's
warning
sushi.
on sushi when it's
You tell
like,
me it comes to raw food? Is that what you're telling me? Not cooked?
okay.
All right. No more sushi for me. Well, here goes sushi. There goes my Friday plans.
I hated that.
Andrew, gross.
No, but seriously, that did look like a demon though, right?
Now, if you're looking at the screen saying, damn, that's scary looking. Well, you ain't seen nothing, because I'm about to show you the scariest video you ever seen in your life. Roll the footage. Now, I know what you're going to say. It's AI. Computer-generated images. But all I'm saying is, what if it ain't? What if it ain't? Then what? What is the rebuttal for what if it ain't? What if by some strange event we have torn the fabric separating the dimensions and now we are able to see them and they are able to see us? What if? See, the people that love to say project, you know, are the ones who just want to sit back and have an excuse handed to them. They believed everything they've been programmed to believe. This ain't for y'all. This is for the awakened. This is for the tapped in. This is for the ones who know.
Imagine being on a cruise in the Gulf of Mexico yesterday and seeing this shit.
What in the hell is that? Did you see that? Oh my god! Oh my god, it just went straight to the water. Oh my gosh.
Hold on.
Where'd it go?
I still see glowing in the water. It's
Now, folks that are observing this entire phenomenon witnessed it go into the water, and as you can hear the guy in the background say, it went into the water with no splash. And then the second person, the woman, the second one, I guess a friend, said, I can still see it glowing in the water. So that's a third observable, whereas transmedium, it goes from air to water. Very fascinating. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is probably one of the best UFO videos out.
This guy UFO Gerb did a video in 1965 Kecksburg, Pennsylvania UFO crash. They first saw it over the Great Lakes and they said it was like moving. People thought it was an asteroid at first, but then it was like, then when it went over Pennsylvania, it did like a 90-degree turn. Crashed in the woods. They got accounts from all these different people. They said it was like the size of maybe like an SUV, but it looked like an acorn, and around the rim looked like they had hieroglyphics. And one of the guys who gave this detailed account was a volunteer firefighter. They all thought it was a plane crash. So they showed up thinking that, okay, we got to rescue people, put out a fire.
Could you imagine?
They said this acorn UFO was just sticking in the dirt, and they're like, what? And he said within 5 minutes, military was there with guns and said,
Get out of here.
Get out of here. This is a secure location now. And they were forced off the location.
Lucky they survived, dude.
Yeah, he said that
You
both
can't go
his
there?
son and daughter have joined the military, and they're not able to advance further in the program because their name is attached to their father's, where he's on this list now to where...
Yeah, it flagged him.
Yeah, he's definitely flagged. It's the list world.
Dude!
This is an LED streetlight. Let's see what's inside. Uh-oh. Apparently, this is an LED 5G streetlight. It's pretty neat. This is a 5G cellular tower disguised as a water tower. You can tell it's a 5G tower disguised as a water tower because of the way that it is. Here's the antennas. Here's the disguise. It's pretty neat. This is a pine tree planted by T-Mobile. You can tell it's a pine tree planted by T-Mobile because of the way that it is. It's a pine tree, and it was planted by T-Mobile. This is an Itron smart meter. You can tell it's an Itron smart meter by the way that it is. This particular Itron smart meter has a special feature. Let's take a look. That's suspicious.
Change with the red, white, and blue summer series. And they took out the summer freeze and they replaced it with the Liberty Chill. I thought this was an interesting one, which I find it to be very strange. I find it all to be strange because look at this. We see fireworks. We see Lady Liberty, except it appears like she is being blown over, right? Look behind her. You see her torch way behind her and the exploding fireworks. You see her crown also falling off behind her, as if a storm, explosion, or some wave came washing away the Statue of Liberty. And she just happens to fall apart. Well, if we symbolize, the country of America symbolize freedom, then why would a major corporation like that put on an artwork on their can that portrays Lady Liberty falling to pieces, looking distraught? Bit creepy. Something gonna go down in New York City? Likely the case. Likely the case. We knew that already anyway.
If you remember your dream the moment you wake up, it might not have been just a dream. Let me explain. Many believe that dreams are just random images, fragments of the mind organizing memories. But have you ever wondered why some dreams fade instantly, while others stay so vivid, so real, that you can recall every detail, word, and emotion? Some say that when a dream remains clear in your mind, it's not a coincidence. It's a message, a sign from the deepest part of your being, maybe from your subconscious, or maybe from something much greater. A force trying to warn you, guide you, or reveal a truth you haven't accepted yet. It's believed that certain dreams aren't just dreams. They're hidden messages, answers to questions you haven't even asked yet. They can be warnings, signs of the future, or even doors to something beyond. So the next time you wake up and can still feel what you dreamed, don't ignore it. Ask yourself, what is this dream trying to tell me? Have you ever had a dream so real that it stayed with you all day? Let me know in the comments. Like, follow, and share if you believe dreams can hold deeper meanings.
Say I was with somebody once and I saw a transformation that I can't explain.
The person transformed into something other than human.
Yes, I saw it.
You were talking to someone. They said to you, look, something's going to happen here. I'm going to morph into something else.
Imagine you're doing something and suddenly you turn around and there's somebody else standing there.
You still standing by it?
Absolutely. I know it happened. In fact, it happened twice. And on top of that, what's amazing is we live in a world where, look, I've been in public life on some level for 30 years.
Yep.
People treat it as if I'm
crazy. Yeah.
And it's like, I'm here to say, like, now maybe I had a hallucination, but I saw what I saw.
Right. You saw it. It's your reality.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, to question somebody's reality is a strange thing.
The second time you saw a shapeshifter, where were you? Probably at Darcy's house.
It was the same. It was the same person.
Oh, it was.
This happened with the same person twice.
Billy, when will you announce who this person is so I can investigate? Seriously.
I wouldn't name names.
But it's a famous person, right?
I wish it was somebody famous.
Yeah, because then that would be awesome.
Well, think of the book sale.
It was like Justin Bieber.
If you release their name, they will be famous. They're shapeshifters.
If I told you in private the story, could you keep my confidence?
Yes.
All right.
Now, here's the good thing about telling me something. Within a minute, I forget. Because I think everything is nonsense.
I will tell you the story.
You will?
Yeah. And I will say...
Go ahead.
Since we're on radio.
Thank you.
That the story is even more fantastical than you think.
Wow.
Can you give us something?
The person was naked.
Wait a second. Were you in bed with the shapeshifter? Were you making love?
I will tell you in confidence.
Holy mackerel. Now I'm with you. It was a woman. You made love to her.
Haven't we all experienced this?
Did you... Oh, believe me, I've been with people who shapeshifted, right? But their personalities, they were completely different people before and after. Are you saying it was a lover who actually shapeshifted?
I can no longer discuss this.
All right. Should we commit him? Billy pulled me aside. He pulled me into a corner. He goes, "You ready?" I said, "I am." And he told me what happened when he met the shapeshifter.
Could you tell me?
If Billy says it's okay, I'll tell you.
By the time we get permission, you will have
Well, you always break me down. I'll end up telling you if you get to me quickly before I forget it.
All right.
Hey, he said he saw what he saw. And if he would have said this maybe like 10 years ago, probably would have been strange. But nowadays, it's kind of like he most likely did see what he said he saw.
The pyramids were not built on the surface to honor the dead. They were constructed as anchors, as containment obelisks, to seal something ancient and immensely powerful below the earth. These newly discovered chambers form what ancient texts called the Abyssal Vault. According to a forbidden section of the Book of Thoth, translated only once before vanishing, this vault was built by a pre-human civilization the Egyptians later called the Neteru. Gods not of the sky, but of the deep earth. At the heart of this spiral, at the lowest point, 2,000 feet down, is a black sarcophagus made from an unknown metal, humming at a frequency just beyond human hearing. Surrounding it are 8 massive crystal pylons, pulsing in alignment with the Orion constellation. Every 26,000 years during the precessional reset, the energy peaks. And here's the kicker. Some believe the being inside was not dead, but in stasis, a creature older than mankind, sealed there during a war between celestial factions, a war that ended with Earth being quarantined. The pyramids were never tombs. They were keys, or worse, a warning. And now, with the scans awakening global interest in frequencies being disturbed by human drilling and radar, the vault may be stirring.
In my mind,
they found that I was using areas of the brain that we don't normally have conscious access to.
These are 2 quotes from Jason Padgett, a seemingly normal guy who was attacked at a bar in 2002. After being released from the hospital, the way that Jason started seeing the world had completely changed.
Everything that was perfectly smooth before, when it moved, had these little tiny edges. It looked like it was choppy.
He began drawing what he was seeing, the structure of space-time, quantum black holes, every shape he could manage to draw to try and effectively describe what he was seeing. One day, while drawing at a mall, he was approached by a man who said he recognized the high-level mathematics that Jason was drawing and encouraged him to enroll in a math class. He was later diagnosed with acquired savant syndrome, a rare condition where someone develops extraordinary skills in a specific area after a brain injury or other neurological event. And he says that night in the bar completely changed his life, and we should all be walking around in absolute amazement all the time that reality even exists.
Yeah, that sounds like a lottery ticket, because most people don't come out the hospital smarter. That's a fact.
Hawaiians have a ancient tradition that octopus basically came from the sky. Isn't it interesting?
Octopuses, they have no need, because they're in the ocean and there's no houses in the ocean, so they have no need to like build things, but they're super smart, man. They open up jars. They figure out a way to get out of a fish tank, walk across the floor, climb into the next fish tank, kill a fish, eat it, climb back and go back in their tank.
That's why I don't own a squid or an octopus, because if I saw that in the middle of the night, it would freak me the fuck out.
They're really smart, man. They're weirdly smart, and we don't even know why or how, you know?
Yeah.
And they have eyes that separated from, but they, like, whatever an eye was developed for them, and an eye was developed for us. Like, and we branched off from the evolutionary chain, like, who knows how many hundreds of millions of years ago.
I learned a pretty interesting little tidbit here. The octopus, apparently its DNA is not like anything else on this planet. But apparently
Elon Musk just broke the world of AI. His new Grok 3 has officially become the #1 AI on the planet. It's outperformed Google's Gemini, Claude, and even ChatGPT. I know it seems as though every week a new AI claims to be the best, but Grok 3 is just built different with 3 modes of thinking. Think of it like this: Deep Search is your personal research team, Think Mode helps you to solve simple problems step by step, and Big Brain Mode is its genius mode for the most complex problems. But here's the crazy part. To make this possible, Elon's team created a huge computer. It uses over 200,000 AI chips, making it 10 times more powerful than anything else. The results speak for themselves. In this year's maths exam, Grok 3 scored 93.3%, crushing all other competition. I've tested it myself and I've been blown away with the results. It can create games from scratch, write code that's almost perfect, and even read entire books whilst remembering all the details. But this isn't its biggest selling point. Most AIs tend to avoid certain topics, But true to Elon's free speech values, Grok 3 gives honest answers even on the most controversial topics. This is a huge step forward in combating the possibilities of AI bias, and I'm super keen to see how this AI model evolves over the next few years.
I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Elon came out on top of this whole AI revolution. The track record speaks for itself for sure. Well, you guys, hey, that's another one in the books, man. I appreciate you guys for stopping by yet again and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that like button for me. Smash that subscribe button and join the iTrack fam. And I will definitely catch you on the next one.